Hi everyone, I'm Alicia Toot from A Music Blog Yeah, and I'm very pleased to be standing here with Mounties today. How are y'all doing?
Very well, very good.
Saucy.
I'm glad to hear it. So I just want to start off by saying congrats on the release of your debut record. Thrash Rock Legacy. So just when it comes to actually recording it, what was that experience like?
It was like a pineapple in a blender with a frog. Yeah, actually, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Anyone else like to add to that?
There's some milk products probably. There's a little bit of yogurt.
Dandelion root, just for bitterness.
And a little bit of glass, just so you train. You train a lot of coconut water too. Sorry. Coconut water down. I thought that super skinny ledge was a good spot to put that. So.
All right. Something that I wanted to just ask about the album is I love all the different styles and nuances that you can hear in it. So when it came to recording it, did you intend on making an album that pretty much didn't have necessarily a strict genre?
I guess we did, sort of, right?
I sort of feel like we're always trying to not be genre specific. Like, I'm always surprised when I hear bands that decide that they want to live so absolutely in one idiom. It makes me feel funny. Like, why didn't you want to try to make something that maybe was just a little bit new? But I think part of it is that there was little to no
Premeditation.
yeah, no premeditating on this at all. It's the sound of three guys who've kind of been through the music thing a bit and have found this youthful well of musical excitement, which happens when we sit together and play. Because we don't sit and write, it's not like pens and papers and pianos and chin stroking. It's wine drinking and rock and roll playing, and then really all the songs are born out of just a pure expression, just purely playing. There's very little thought in Mounties at all, and I think really the best rock and roll should have no thought in it at all, because the brain it's the last thing you should consult with anything artistic. I think everything below the shoulders is kind of the authority.
For sure. Especially below the knees. Lots of.
Okay, they're in.
I only dance below the knees.
Well, a song that I'm really, really enjoying off the record is Hall and Oates, which you actually just soundchecked. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, what exactly inspired that track? I mean, are you big fans of 80s music, or how did that come to be?
How did it come to be, actually?
I remember you sat at the piano and came up with those chords. In fact, odd thing is that Hall and Oates might, in some ways, resemble the most traditionally written song on the record.
Oh, wow. Yeah, actually, that's maybe the only time I've been like, let's use a chord progression. And so maybe that's why it kind of turned out a bit poppier than the other stuff.
Albeit with the strangest bridge of all time, in my opinion, which is pretty great. It's my favorite moment of the set.
Yeah, usually writing a bridge is kind of like you write the verse, you write the chorus, and then most people would just be like, okay, there's a song. Oh, wait, we need to write a bridge. Whereas with Mounties, it's usually we'll write like a dozen parts and then just cry as we say goodbye to a bunch of sections that will never make the record.
The way in which we've written the whole record is we just get together in this room and we start playing. We don't have any idea what we're going to play. We just start playing. And then we'll have a jam that's 20 minutes long or 45 minutes long, and we'll go back and we'll pick all the good parts and start singing over them. We won't even pick them. We'll just start running the tape and then go, oh, I like this part. I'll put a vocal over that. And then while we're hanging around and drinking wine and sitting out front of the studio, we'll write down ideas and silly things that people say that we just build on. So maybe Hall and Oates was in our conversation that day, and it just, I don't know, somebody had a melody and somebody said, Hall and Oates, so every song is kind of created like that, so that a lot of the lyrics come from conversation. They're not premeditated, oh, let's talk about this, or, let's discuss this topic. It's more like, this is what we talk about, this is what we do when we're hanging out, so that's how it turns out.
I especially love the addition of the little privatized double clap used throughout that track, so nice little touch on that. We've been speaking about the debut, so I just wanted to bring up, what's next for you guys? Are you planning album number 2, or what's next as far as recording or releases go?
We have a couple records and more records in the works, and We're hoping to book another tour. We're doing this thing called Squamish Festival. We're coming back for the Indie Awards. But yeah, we're just always working on stuff. We're all working on each other's other projects as well. Ryan's almost finished a Limblifter record, and Hawk and I have been working on his new record, which is almost done, and I'm helping Parker a little bit with his record. He's in the Gay 90s.
Fur Trade's coming out.
And then Fur Trade just came out. That's our other project, and that we're gonna start writing again for that in August. And
You finished a Hot Heat record?
yep, finished a Hot Heat record. So yeah, just a bit of everything.
A lot going on.
And then Ryan and I are doing a little producing and writing for some people, and yeah, Hawk's got his musical.
Musical. Really?
All of June, right, in Toronto?
Yeah.
So all of June it's going to be him, and people have to go see this. It's incredible. It's a one-man play, and it's amazing. It's called The God That Comes, and he's here all month of June. So it's gonna
Very neat. Do you care to tell us a little bit just about that?
The Guy That Comes is a one-man cabaret rock and roll show. It's been playing kind of around the world a bit in the last year and a half, and it comes to Toronto at the Tarragon Theatre for a month. And yeah, it's about the god of wine and sex, and it's kind of it's an event. Yeah.
Torontonians catch that. All right, you got it? All right. Well, yeah, in support of the new album, you've actually been touring, and you're playing Toronto's Lee's Palace tonight. So just how's the tour been treating you so far?
All sold out, which is really cool, except for one show.
Bullshit.
I feel like I'm allowed to brag because I was like, why are we booking a tour? Our album will have only just come out, and I was really nervous about it, and then we hadn't even really rehearsed much, and then it just kind of came together, and every show has been the best show of my life.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's every show has just it's been better and better, and like it's just so much fun getting to share a stage with these guys. It's insane. They're so talented.
With you, Parker Bossley. We like sharing.
Somebody passed kindergarten.
All right, well, I just want to say you do all seem like a really great and fun group of guys. So while on the road, what are some funny things to have happened to you? I'm sure you have a couple stories to share.
One funny thing was when we had to drive 25 hours from Winnipeg to Kingston. That's funny.
And then I woke up and I fell asleep in the van, and I woke up naked in a Tim Hortons, and the other guys had been driving all night, and I had all my clothes stolen from me, and they didn't realize that. Anyway.
We forgot Steve at the Tim Hortons.
It was horrible.
And he basically immediately entered like living like a feral dog, and it wasn't a slow descent. It was like rapid.
I just knew that's what I had to do to survive, and I could just tell that's what you're supposed to do, and it worked for a couple days. But then the Hamilton show was a bit sketchy because of it, but it was like a good show still.
Technology has made touring different, because we have all these digital devices that we can be productive on. Steve's always editing something, a video, or we're working on, music things on the, it's great stuff.
Yeah, we're always working on stuff. Sometimes playing with stuff, sometimes working on it. Hardly working hardly.
Working hard, hardly working. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just for the tour, what are some of your favorite tracks to play? Every song?
Yeah.
I like playing Guaranteed Blonde Enough quite a bit. It's the sleaziest of the bunch. Yeah. It's nice.
Did you get down on that one? There's a sleaze.
There's a sleaze factor to it.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I like the first song just because it's the first song and it goes, so you go from zero to playing. It's fun.
Yeah. I like Feeling Low because it's the most challenging song on the record, maybe. But we put it second, so it kind of says like, you better get on board with us because it's kind of trippy and it's going to be weird. So just letting you know, like, don't expect this to be your grandma's Mounties.
Okay. Well, we just wanted to move on to some of the less serious questions. So just while on the road, what are some things that you do for fun?
That's the serious question?
Yeah. Oh, less serious, I said. No.
To some real serious.
Less serious.
Fun on the road? I mean, listen to Steve crack jokes. That occupies most of my time.
What's one of your favorite jokes?
It's more a move. I do this. I have this devil stick and hacky sack routine I do for the guys. And it
There you go.
slays every time.
Yeah, pretty good.
No, I'm the same with these guys. I like to hear them just be goofs.
But really, the funnest thing we do is play. Like, the thing about touring is, you have to become this little mini army, because you're bereft of all comfort, and you're in a constant state of movement, and you have nothing that you're sort of normally, like as a North American, like you'd think, oh, I'd be able to make my own piece of toast, but you can't. There's I should be able to, like, I have to pee. I should be able to pee right now, but you can't because there's nowhere to pee. And so it's like,
You want toast? Yeah, there's Tim Hortons 12 blocks through the snow that way across a highway.
so it's funny because the grind of it becomes part of, like, I think we all start to devolve, and in our little mini army, the devolution means we get dirtier, or like we just, there's just an ugliness that sort of takes over, and you turn in more into animals, because you end up spending most of your days in spaces like this, which, are not really meant for human comfort, and so then.
This is such a generic rock photo right here too, stairwell exercise. It's cool. I feel like I've lost my mind. Like, to be able to sit in a van for 25 hours straight, you basically walk over to the smart part of your brain, shut it down, and then you're just you just sit there. And then when you get out of the van, it's sometimes you forget to turn it back on, or it's kind of slow to start up again. I feel like, yeah, I've devolved a lot, but I know we'll get our A game back. I think once we were home for a couple days, and then you always get depressed after a tour as well, because you're so used to that injection of adrenaline every night that when all of a sudden you don't get it, you feel like a drug addict coming down. Not that I would know what that feels like.
Well, just something that I've discovered while running my site is there's so much music out there. So we wanted to ask you, who do you listen to when you put your headphones on?
What's the website called again?
A music blog, yeah.
Yeah, that's my main thing. I listen to.
Perfect.
Hawk's been getting us back into the Smiths really in a big way, and
After reading the Morrissey autobio over Christmas, I was a massive Smiths fan, but I hadn't spent much time listening to their records in the last few years, but man, I can't get enough of it right now.
No, I'm lucky enough to have a sister who literally will listen to the Smiths all day. So I'll be in my room working or doing stuff for the site, and all I hear are vinyls of the Smiths going on and on. So that's very neat, yeah.
That's like you. You got into a lot of music because of your brothers too. Ryan's brother plays in New Pornographers, and his other brother.
Love those guys.
Yeah, his other bro is a big influence on him too. I didn't have that growing up. I wish I did.
I've been listening to a lot of Kate Bush. I don't really listen to that much new music. I try to, but like you said, there's so much out there. It's hard to kind of find. But that's my answer, Kate Bush.
If you go to Parker's Facebook page, between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. every night, there's about a half dozen amazing musical choices that he'll post from YouTube.
It's true. I like to sit and drink copious amounts of red wine and go on YouTube and find new music, and then I'll just go on a posting spree, and all my friends hate it.
What?
Unfollow me.
I love it.
But some love it. Some are fans of it, and then others are like, dude, my whole feed is.
I had to scroll this far.
I I can relate. I mean, literally my Facebook page is probably stuff for the site, YouTube links, and lyrics. So totally on board with that. So yeah, now we're just at the last question of the interview, and it's going to be a bit of a stumper, but feel free to say whatever you like. What's something about the band that most people don't know yet?
Probably something good. There's probably.
My answer would be that it's for real. Like, we found that when we were first starting out, and like, there were radio stations and different people kind of wondering, like, is this just kind of like a joke for these guys? And it's like, it's no joke. We're so inspired right now by what we're doing that expect more. We're all sort of putting our main day jobs a little bit on hold because we feel so strongly about this.
That's amazing to hear.
I like when you say stuff like that because it makes me. Hawk's basically like the Flava Flav in the band. Like I'll just be down. I'll be like, say something, and he'll just say something like that. I'm like, yeah, let's go play the best show of our lives.
We always do go out to want to play the best show of our lives. That's that mini army feeling. Like, we really have this funny camaraderie. We always have a hug before the show and talk about kind of pure intentions hitting the stage, and like just having it be right. But also there's like it's just an aggression that this band has that, like, we're not here just to be observed. We're here to, like, eat.
I don't think any of us expected this in this part of our lives. We didn't expect to find each other, I know,
That's cool.
You gotta multitask when you're on the road, otherwise.
Things to take off so well.
That's great Steve's Flicks vibe.
All right, well. All right, well, I do believe, that last question does wrap up the interview. I would just like to thank all of you guys once again for taking the time to speak with us. And once again, I'm Alicia Tu from Music Blog, and thank you for watching our interview with Mounties. Thanks, everyone.